Hey everybody, this is HD. Welcome back. It's time for another series of pro games, and today we're going to be looking at a tournament game, which is a best of 3. This was done in the ESL, and our player is going to be WhiteRa, also known by his former name as WhiteRa. He's going to be the red Protoss who has spawned up at the top position on Lost Temple. And his opponent is going to be ESC Goody, the purple Terran who has spawned on the bottom side of the map. Now, both these players, very good. I'm not too familiar with ESC Goody, but I do know WhiteRa very well. And he's a very dominant Protoss player. Once again, this is going to be a best of 3 series. And once again, it is for the ESL tournament. So the map, Lost Temple, very standard, very safe map. This is pretty much a map that's been around since the good old days of Brood War. And I just got done casting a bunch of games on, I believe it was Terminus RE and something called the Tal'Darim Altar or something like that. Those games were very interesting. I really like the new maps, and like I said before, I hope to start seeing more of these GSL maps, more of these interesting maps coming out, and tournament directors and players starting to adapt some of the new maps that Starcraft 2 has been played on in South Korea. So I really do hope we're going to start to see some more of those interesting maps. For now, though, it is going to be on Lost Temple, and it looks like WhiteRa is pretty much playing it by the book. He's got Gateway, he's got his probe coming out, so everything's looking good over there. And ESC Goody also, the barracks, the refinery, everything's looking safe and standard for both these players here on Lost Temple. Now, I do want to say, I believe there's a map in this map pool that ends up playing on one of the IC Cup maps. And for all of you guys who aren't familiar with IC Cup, it's actually a league that was very popular in Brood War. I still believe it's around for Starcraft 2. And it's pretty much an online league for Starcraft that has a lot of different maps. Maps such as Longitude, and I believe Longitude's one of the maps that they have. And they have a lot of interesting maps that they copied over from the old days of Brood War, which you guys can also download if you guys just type in IC Cup maps on Google for StarCraft. So I do believe that these players will play on one of the IC Cups maps in this tournament. So I am looking forward to seeing that. Meanwhile, back at the game, it looks like the probe was able to make its way into the Terran main, and Goody is just doing his scoot and shoot micro to try to kill off the probe. Goody will also wall off his front ramp, so the probe has nowhere to escape, but it does see the tech lab that finished off on the barracks, which doesn't really give away too much. If you're a Terran player and you get the tech lab early on your barracks, it's very standard and very normal to do that. So WhiteRa really doesn't know, there's nothing that tells him exactly what's going on. He doesn't see anything kind of fishy at this point, and it looks like he will actually send out another scouting probe just to make sure, and just to scout and see exactly what's going on inside of Goody's base. And Goody will actually tag the Xel'Naga watchtower as well. So he does have control of the map, but WhiteRa is quickly about to change that with his Zealot starting to move forward. Meanwhile, we actually have a Marauder, an SCV, and a Marine coming out, so Goody is going to be making some early aggression. Also, note concussive shells just finishing right there on the production tab, and Goody may actually try to contain WhiteRa with a bunker. And WhiteRa realizing that, trying to get a second gateway up. He's also chrono boosting his Zealot here because he knows that he's in danger of being contained by a Terran, and this is not a situation that Protoss players really face all that often. I mean, how often does a Terran player have the balls to move out against a Protoss this early on? Goody is showing that he is not scared. 2 Zealots and a Stalker. The Stalker focusing the SCV down first, and so the bunker gets canceled. Very nice play by WhiteRa, but now he only has 2 Zealots left to deal against 2 Marauders, a Marine and an SCV, and Micro is the name of the game here. Goody is keeping all of his forces alive. This Zealot can run and run forever, but it will never catch up to the Marauders and the Marines, not with the concussive shells. So WhiteRa, in a lot of trouble now, is actually warping in a pylon down below. What is he doing? Oh no, the Marauder's actually gonna see it. No, just barely sees the pylon. So perhaps, oh my goodness, WhiteRa already had Warp Gate down. He chrono boosted his Warp Gate so quickly, and now he's gonna warp in Stalkers right in front of Goody's base. Goody here, he thinks he's safe, he thinks he has the contain, but little does he know that there are now Stalkers at his front door. There's a pylon down here, which is going to continue to field reinforcements for WhiteRa, and WhiteRa just showing how raw and how savage he is of a player. Even when he's contained, He can use the Protoss Warping technology to its maximum potential. Now Goody trying to repair the supply depot. The supply depot may actually be repaired in time, but Goody will have to pull off more SCVs. He needs to pull off about 2 or 3 more SCVs. It looks like Goody says, okay, fine, come inside my base. He wants to protect his supply depots, but WhiteRa not having that. WhiteRa is actually saying, no, I want to kill your supply depots to make you supply blocked. And now Goody is in the red. He cannot produce additional reinforcements. So wow, WhiteRa saw right through that. He knew that, yeah, those supply depots are very valuable right now because they were lowered. Goody basically saying, I want to save my supply depot, so go ahead and run in the base. And WhiteRa says, I'm going to level you, I'm going to kill your supply depots. And now Goody in a lot of trouble. The only reason why he's able to produce forces now is because his supply has dropped so low, and he is going to GG out of this game. WhiteRa, such a savage, winning game number 1 in this ESL series. And we're actually going to move on to game number 2, and hope you guys stay tuned for that. Game number 2 on the way. HD signing out.